son of a bitch.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Because you are my friend.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of the Super Enabler Bros podcast, and I'm Jason Corpseflood Gaming, joined by my excellent co-host, Chris the Old Ass Retro Gamer.
Hey, who that?
That's him. And we've got an awesome guest this time. We've got Captain Algebra, our first guest ever. Say hey, Cap.
What's up, guys? Honored to be your first guest. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Especially on pretty short notice. We kind of just asked you yesterday. So
You owe me.
Super cool of you to.
It's not like I put him on the spot on his stream yesterday.
No, not at all. Right as I start my stream, hey, Cap, want to be on a Super Enabler Brothers? Sure.
Then you just, anytime you died, he's like, it's because I was thinking of that stupid podcast. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Pico.
Yeah, sorry, it was Super Mario Galaxy 2. I don't die in that game.
All right.
It's really hard to do that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Especially when you have like 500 lives.
right.
Yeah, I've never actually played the second one. I played the shit out of the first one though, but
I like it. It's good. Not as good as the first, but it's good.
I'm really guilty for just not busting out the Wii enough. I've got a lot of cool games for it, and a lot of that I assume are cool that I bought because they looked cool, and then it just, I don't know, I think it's the motion sensor.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put it.
So many people hate the motion controls too. So
Yeah, some games, yeah, the shoehorning of that shit kind of
I
sucks.
don't mind it if you're not doing this.
yeah, I thought those would be the ones you'd like, Pico.
Yummer.
Practice.
Yeah, so some of them are pretty excessively throw it in your face. That you need to. I like anything like you can use a pro controller. Were you Bobby Lee? Is that Bobby Lee from Mad TV? Stab the dragon. There's no one on the other side.
Living my best life.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite skits from Mad TV. Honestly, that's a great inside joke that me and my wife always use too. So that's funny.
5 waterfalls.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull still will always suck ass. We have yet to even try to watch it a second time. I actually, when we were talking about that, I forgot to mention that I think it was for our anniversary, our 10th anniversary. I actually found a copy of the DVD, wrapped it, and gave it to her.
Did you throw it at you?
she's like 10 years, so now we're done. Is that this how I find out? It's like our relationship has just been 5 waterfalls of fun. She's like, screw you. And she's like, I'm not even giving you your gift. Just watch it. Watch
damn chode.
While you sleep on the couch.
She's gonna re-gift it. She's gonna re-gift it to you on your 20th.
We had a coffee table with a wobbly leg, so we just put it under there, and at least it's useful now. I've been trying to get the other kids, the kids into the other ones, and it's like hit and miss. Like they'll be excited about a part, and then they'll just go do something else. Usually when I show them shit, they just love it, and I'm like, man, I thought I liked this shit. Like, I love Ghostbusters too much, but like my sons are like, it's been like half an hour since we watched something Ghostbusters related. I'm like, give it time. It's great, and I don't think they can ever burn me out on things I really like. But watching the Ninja Turtles, I was just like, man, a lot of this doesn't hold up as far as all the stuff I was obsessed with when I was a kid. It gets really stupid. I didn't realize this when I was a kid, but
Thundercats aren't nearly as cool as they used to be.
No, I was a big Power Ranger fan, so I try to watch the original show sometimes. I'm like, wow, this was bad. How did I ever like this?
Especially when Rita talks and it's clearly dope.
Hey guys, what's happening? Hey!
After thousands of years.
Make my monster growl!
I've always wanted to watch was it Super Sentai? Is that what they...
Yeah. I watched the original show. It's actually pretty cool.
It is pretty good, yeah.
Every one of them is on YouTube. Every one of them's on YouTube for free.
Sweet. I should check into it one of these days. I wasn't huge in Power Rangers. I was like, it came out when I was probably just like I think I don't remember what I was getting into, and I was just like I got into it for a bit. I remember having like shirts and some of the toys, but I remember my buddy who bought me my first ever gaming thing with my Game Boy told me like last year that when we were in grade 4 and he bought me the Game Boy, he had money saved up for Power Rangers toys, and then he's like, "Nah, my buddy needs a Game Boy," and I was like, "Man." It's like,
bruh.
now I feel like I gotta buy this guy some Power Rangers toys.
Well, it's weird watching the old show because the Yellow Ranger's a dude.
Really? I
didn't
know
the Japanese show, the Yellow Ranger's a dude. If you watch the American show, the Pink Ranger's the only one with a skirt.
Trini's got a bulge.
Yeah. Trini's packing.
Well, damn.
It's like Trini got that mad dick print.
You can't. You can unsee that now. Thanks.
Right. Yeah, thanks, Pico.
You're welcome, Internet. Say I never gave you nothing.
She must be Puerto Rican or whatever. Isn't that isn't that where there's a lot of she-males are from? I can't remember.
Philippines.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. I'm proud to not be an expert on the subject. So.
Hey, Pornhub's a thing.
Well, thing of many things. Anyway, what you guys?
Anyway, yeah. Back to the podcast.
What you been up to lately? What you been playing? Start with you, Cap. What you been up to lately?
Let's see. So my goal this year is to beat 100 games that I have not beaten before, and so I'm about at a 10 game per month pace. So I got about half of them that I beat this past month. So awesome. I really like the Game Boy. So I've been playing a couple of those. So I finally went back to the Wario Land series. I grew up with Wario Land 1, loved it, but I never played the other one. So I finally beat Wario Land 2.
Perfect.
Which is pretty fun. It's kind of annoying though. You can't die. Which is really stupid.
Yeah.
The levels are fun. Yeah, it's like, what's the point of playing it then, But the levels are fun. They have the same characters. In fact, it's the same boss at the end, the same music pretty much. But like I said, it was just weird that you can't die. But you collect treasure and stuff like in the first one, and it's pretty fun. And when you beat the game, you can actually go back and finish levels that you didn't find the treasure in, or there's actually branching paths. So you get multiple endings. So I only did the regular ending, but then you actually mentioned this, Jason, when I posted on Twitter, beat Donkey Kong Land for the first time.
Hell yeah.
I've been playing all the other Donkey Kong games.
Right, I know. Eugene came in my stream the other day and he's like, "Wait, this isn't Donkey Kong Country." I'm like, "I know. I need a break from all the Donkey Kong Country I've been playing."
It's been on like Donkey Kong for show.
Right? But that one I grew up
with. You're just gearing up to challenge Billy Mitchell's record.
That's right. Bring it on, Billy Mitchell. And I don't cheat, so.
Total Mitchell.
The walkie-talking game genie.
Yeah. So that one I grew up with, but I never beat because I didn't like it because they maintain basically what the game looked like. They zoomed in so much. It's very hard to tell when enemies are coming at you sometimes. So there's some cheap deaths, and there's a glitch where sometimes even though you hit a DK barrel, your other Kong doesn't show up when you die. But overall, it's a pretty fun game. For being on the Game Boy, it's a pretty solid game. Yeah,
it's definitely a really good looking game, but the small screen adds a challenge. I think I mentioned it being kind of like
Sonic Game Gear games are like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was listening to. That's what
especially like Sonic Advance.
Yeah, well, in a game where you got to move kind of fast, it's it definitely adds.
The game where you're gonna go as fast as you possibly can. You got to creep in the handheld versions.
Right.
It's like whoa, what's the rush, Sonic? Slow down.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can't see me coming?
Right. Yeah. And then on Fridays, I usually do my Genesis A to Z streams. So the last one I played was Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle.
Nice.
So I beat that on my second attempt. It's a pretty good game. The rock paper scissors is pretty stupid.
Rochambeau for it.
Like in real rock paper scissors, there's strategy to it. It's crazy, but most people throw rock first. It's just because your hand is already in that position. But with that game, it's just entirely random. So unless you have the necklace to see what the opponent's thinking, it's just a crapshoot, and it's stupid because all the boss fights are rock paper scissors. So it's like you can get completely screwed over. And as the boss fights go on, they switch faster. And so even though like the timer is up, they might switch one more time. So you have to be ready and know the exact order of the rock, paper, scissors. So like to beat them really quickly. Like it's annoying, but
that sounds
it's a solid game.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't think I have that one.
I have one for the
I do.
Sega Master System,
do.
but I
I
don't
didn't
have
know
one
I
for the
did.
Genesis.
Yeah, that's the. I think that's the only one on the Genesis, I believe.
Yeah,
Could be wrong.
I'm looking at it right now. I guess
I
I do
have
own
High
it.
Tech World. Yeah, High Tech World's the one I have.
Okay, yeah. I've heard Shinobi World's the best one, but I don't have that one.
It's also the hardest to get a hold of, I think, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Then obviously, speaking of Donkey Kong Country, finally went to and beat Donkey Kong Country Returns after starting it like 4 times and never getting into it. It's fine, but after playing the Super Nintendo games, it's a pretty big letdown.
Oh yeah, especially with how long it was before they
Mm-hmm.
made it. You know, they had so much time to improve on it.
Right.
So you're gonna be playing that Tropical Freeze next?
Yeah, hey, that's on my backlog. My
Yeah.
backlog.
Oh!
Yep.
Hell
So
yeah, maybe you'll get it.
ahead.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
think we'll have our first participant in the backlog roulette. I've heard of no one else trying it yet.
That's right. I
Just
fully intend to play the game. So
Perfect.
Sweet.
yeah. And then I just got a couple more. So I finally went through and beat Star Wars Obi-Wan.
Oh God.
So being a
There's
huge
a
Star
reason that
Wars,
was in my bad Star Wars game video.
right, like being a huge Star Wars fan, I've never actually beaten a lot of Star Wars games for some reason. Maybe it's because a lot of them don't seem that good.
Mhm.
What?
I don't know. Like they just, I don't know. They're just letdowns to me. But this
They're-
one
a
I
lot of
like.
them time they're rush jobs.
Yep. I liked it at first, but the control and hit detection is so bad that when you get to the tougher levels, you just get screwed over sometimes.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
stupid deaths.
Yeah.
I mean, I got through it, but it could have been better.
It's kind of cool getting some of that backstory, like of the stuff that happened before
Mhm.
Phantom Menace.
Yep.
But outside of that, it's just kind of like frustrating as hell to play to me.
Yep. But it's funny. I heard the Darth Maul fight at the end is like the toughest fight,
Mhm.
and I beat him on my first attempt.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
like,
remember the same thing.
it's like, I don't know why people are complaining that's difficult. Like, I pretty much kicked his ass. So.
But you could totally tell it's a first gen Xbox game. Like it
Yep.
came out as a launch game because it looks like ass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't really trust when people say things are hard or easy because
Mhm.
there's always like, the water temple, and you're like, the water temple is not even.
Right.
have you-
Or the turbo tunnel is hard as hell, but I beat it on my first try.
Yeah. Or like people always put like Contra as like one of the hardest NES games.
No,
Like, those games are not difficult. You just
You
suck.
can
at
remember
it.
patterns. You just
You're
gotta-
exactly.
all you need to do is practice at it.
Yeah.
It's not
No
a game you're going to pick up for the first time. And be
take
like,
your arthritis medication and try
Mhm.
again.
Right. No joke. I have a friend, one of my coworkers. She, for some reason, she loves Contra, and so I think her husband has like a Retro Pi, so she plays it on that. And she was terrible at it. She couldn't beat it, even with the 30 lives code.
Damn.
And so I told her when I was doing a no death run of it, and I was streaming, I'm like, "Hey, yeah, watch it." And she comes to me the next day at work. She goes, "It never occurred to me to dodge the bullets." Like she would just get hit. I'm like, "What?"
she's just a martyr.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you not think to like move out of the way of the bullets? But
Just
whatever.
run through them. They'll pass through me.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm a lot better at original Contra than Super C. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. But
Yeah, and for me, it's the opposite. Super C is my favorite game of all time, and like I no death run that in my sleep. Whereas Contra, like I'll beat it every time, but it's not gonna be no death run.
Yeah, the one that everyone says is super hard is my favorite, and that's part 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That
when
was great.
I can breeze through that. I don't know why.
Yep.
I mean, I played it so much when it first came out. Probably
Yeah.
why.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta buckle down and beat that one. I got that in hardcore.
That one is so much
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, it's great. You got to make sure you beat it on hard mode though, Jason. Get the true ending.
I'm a
Absolutely.
pussy.
Yeah. Don't play like Pico.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't be me. Don't
So
be me.
we're not gonna co-op that one then. I'll remember that.
And yeah, and then the last game I beat, I was talking to you in one of my streams, Pico. Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. I know you don't like Control, Pico.
Well,
but-
I'm still gonna keep playing it.
all right.
It's just
Good.
the parts I have played, I was not enjoying.
Okay, so like I absolutely loved Control. That recently came out, and I played like last month or so ago, I think, and I could not put it down. I absolutely loved it, and then I'm playing it, and all of a sudden I hear about I'm like finding all the collectibles, and I find something about Alan Wake. I'm like, wait, is this connected to the Alan Wake for 360? And sure enough, then I realized, oh, they're made by the same company.
Yep.
And so I figured, I'll like Alan Wake. So I went on eBay, bought it, and flew through it. And it's just such a good game.
I was calling out of work to play it. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah, it's a really cool game.
Mm-hmm.
I got it like Black Friday, like the year it came out, and I got right into it.
I bought that
wanna go
shit
back
day
to it,
one.
actually. I think this October it's going to be a ridiculous, like horror pileup of beats. I'm going to have to go through that again. I want to go through American Nightmare. I've
American Nightmare is good,
I've had it forever, but I've never played it. So
I
want to run through that.
Is that a different game, or is it like a DLC?
It's a DLC pack.
Okay,
it's a DLC.
It's like a continuation of the story.
It's its own game. It's a digital game.
Got it.
But it's it's its own thing. Kind of like the when Dead Rising 2 was coming out. Instead of making a demo, they made its own like little standalone prequel game.
Kind of like Ground Zeroes from Metal Gear 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty sweet.
Yes.
I got one more that I've been playing, but I'm going to save that for my pickups because I also picked it up this month.
All right, that sounds good. What about you, Pico? What have you been playing?
What am I playing? Well, I attempted to play my roulette game of Syndicate, but that didn't quite pan out.
Speaking of roulette games, how'd that go for you, Jason?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So instead of the what you've been playing, how about the what you haven't been playing? Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! For the first time, I didn't finish or even actually play my roulette game. I completely experienced it until like 2 minutes before we were going to record, and I was like, "What was my game? I probably I didn't even
never even touched the console."
Yeah.
Every other episode,
they're still sealed, guys.
Wait, are they? No. I bought them used like new.
Nice. But anyway, I was playing Syndicate, and I got to this one specific boss battle where you're like in a lobby of a company, and this boss with like a Gatling gun comes in, and every time I would run and hide to get away from what he was shooting at me, the game would just lock up. And I would start over, do it again, go to a different area, and like he'd start shooting me, and it would lock up. And it happened like 4 times, and I was like, "It's got to be something with the disc."
That's so bummed.
So I was like, I gave up. But I've played enough of it to know that it was good. I mean, it's a first-person shooter, and it's like a cyberpunk first-person shooter, and it's got a little bit of RPG elements to it. But like mostly, you have like these abilities that you can do because everybody in the future of the game is like cybernetically enhanced somehow, and you can hack the people.
Oh, wow.
So, like, their guns, you can hack their guns and you can have it backfire on them and it blows up in their face and stuns them.
Oh, nice.
Or the latest thing I had unlocked was a hack that lets you make them turn on the people that they're with, the group that they're with, and they will actually just start shooting everybody else. And then when they're done, they realize what they've done, and they shoot themselves in the head.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's really cool. The way it's set up is really neat. So like, there's like these quick time events as you're doing the first person stuff. So like, if your cursor passes over somebody who you can hack, you'll see the little icon appear, and you can do a little quick timey thing, and then they'll shoot themselves while you're dealing with people over here, which is really cool the way it's set up.
Yeah, it is really cool.
I just wish I could have beaten it.
At least you didn't blame it on your console like I did with Spider-Man 2 when it came out. There was a flaw in the disc. There wasn't a scratch, like just the way they pressed it. If you looked at it in the light, you'd see a thing look like almost like someone had pushed in on the disc.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, damn it. I was just playing just fine, but I was at a certain point.
Yeah, I had no slowdown, no nothing. There was no evidence that something was going to happen.
Yeah, so it worked fine for like 75% of the game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it would just lock every time I'm like, this thing's a piece of crap. And it was like, I think it was one of the first games, if not the first game I got when I got the PS2. And it was one that I'd gotten for free because I fixed it for a friend. And he's like, oh, I didn't think you'd be able to fix it. So I just bought another one. I think I talked about that before. And so I'm like, damn it, I guess I gotta just go buy one. It was cool having a free one for a bit, and I went and bought a new PS2 and then put the game in. I was like, finally, and all of a sudden it was just like, oh,
it happened again.
man. And then I bringing the game back to I kept the new PS2, but my brother was pretty happy because he got the one that I thought was fucked up. But it was cool. Yeah, that was a bummer. So at least I'd rather have a flawed game than a flawed console.
Yeah.
Right,
So I ended up buying a brand new copy for the PS3 because I do want to complete it because I like what I played. So
Yeah,
I will probably be talking about it next episode also.
Sweet. All right. So did you end up playing a little bit of it besides?
Oh yeah, I got maybe halfway, maybe a little less than halfway through the game.
Okay.
Before it glitched out on me. So when that happened, I was like, okay, so I can start playing some of these original Xbox games that I've been putting off. So I go to boot up my original Xbox and it won't turn on.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
You mentioned.
So I'm like, oh, I've got one of the original plugs on it. Maybe it's the plug itself. So I ordered one of those surge protector plugs that they sent to everybody that had Xboxes back in the day to say, oh, we have the thing that'll blow out if there's a power surge or something like that. The power supply could pop or whatever. So I bought one of those and plugged that in. Nothing happened. So my Xbox, my Halo 2 Special Edition Xbox is dead.
Oof.
Yeah. So hopefully
That
hopefully it's that capacitor that's a kind of easy fix because I've heard it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, why we no live closer? I have like 10 in my garage. I'd even open it up and swap the guts so you'd still have a good one. But yeah, that's.
But then I realized that my Xbox One plays original Xbox games.
And I wouldn't even want to ship you one because those things are so heavy. It would be like,
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Yeah,
worth it,
right.
especially coming from Canada. Fuck that.
you'd have a lawsuit because the mailman got fucking injured trying to carry it to your door. Just this little feeble guy, like the smallest mailman you ever saw. Just,
Who's mailing you bricks, you son of a bitch?
Just go to Home Depot, you cheap ass.
Yeah, fucking cinder blocks in this son of a bitch. Anyway, so yeah, my Xbox One, I was like, I can play some certain original Xbox games on it, and it'll upconvert it a little bit. So I started playing Crimson Skies: High Road to Revenge.
Yo.
Heard good things about that game.
It is fantastic. If you like Wing Commander style games, this is the game for you. It's based on a tabletop RPG, I do believe, but it's like playing Wing Commander. It's like a flight sim, but you're in biplanes and you're shooting down space or like pirates and stuff like that, and blimps and all kinds of stuff, all types of mission types. It's actually really, really fun. And holy crap, the upgrade by playing this on the Xbox One is fantastic. It looks like a brand new game.
Yeah, that one.
It looks good on the Xbox.
It does, and it's in widescreen and everything. It looks awesome. Like you would not believe. If I were to tell you, you might think it was a 360 game. But it looks fantastic, and it's really fun to play, and I'm really into it. So
yeah, the upscaling it does on a couple of those games, like at the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games, and
Musty streamed that playing it on the Xbox One. It looked awesome.
Yeah, Jade Empire 2, I think, is another one that looks just ridiculous. It's like they did. It's like, whoa, they didn't charge us for a remaster, and
I got one.
Yeah,
and I've had it for years.
Like they didn't just, they could have just sold it again and just not told anyone that it was backwards compatible, and everyone, just add achievements, and everyone would be like, wow.
Yeah, I keep on playing it, expecting to get achievements when I beat levels, but nothing happens. But it's a lot of fun. It's nice. Really, if you like Wing Commander style, like aerial combat games, it's really good.
Yeah, I do like it a lot. It was it took me a long time to just like, I wasn't going out of my way to get one, and it just took me a long time to come across one that wasn't like water damaged as shit. People like, this is awesome.
I think about it, mine looks a little wavy.
Window into the rain. Yeah. Maybe they printed them all to look like they were on like old parchment paper. Because it's got the Sky Pirates.
Right.
They're like, oh, it's on a Sky Pirate map. Oh. So the whole aesthetic they were going for, and everyone's all like, oh, I got another shitty damaged copy. So, crazy amount of returns on that. Anything else you've been playing?
I've been playing, but I've been watching some stuff. I finally finished The Witcher.
Woo.
Today, actually.
What'd you think of it?
I really liked it. I didn't realize while I was watching I had watched the first 5 episodes like when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason I just stopped watching it. I think I was like, oh, I want to watch Star Trek again because I'm a geek.
You thought you'd finished it?
I kept on saying like I'm gonna go back to it, and I just never did. Like I totally forgot that I had stopped watching it. So today I went and visited some friends, and they were like, "Hey, have you been watching The Witcher?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've watched up to episode 5." And they're like, "So have we. Why don't we just finish it right now?" I'm like,
Perfect.
"Okay." So we did, and while I was watching those first 5 episodes, I did not realize that they were like Pulp Fiction-y, completely different time periods.
Yeah,
with each different character.
It kind of what's it called, Tarantino's around.
Yeah,
a little bit.
and I was not aware of that.
Yeah, you just kind of you actually don't really notice at the first couple.
Well, the first time I noticed it was in the 6th episode they were talking to Yennefer, and someone said something. My computer just turned off.
What?
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Weird. Yeah, we can see
hang on. It timed out. Anyway, Yennefer. Somebody was talking to the Yennefer character, and she said something like, "Look, I've been around for like 100-some years." She goes, "I've seen some shit," and I was like, "Huh?" Yeah. And then my friend Justin's like, "Yeah, like an episode ago, they brought up the fact that she's been around for like over 100 years." Like, I did not pick up on that. Wow, this just completely took on a whole new direction for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was like, suddenly all this makes sense because I was kind of confused a lot of the time. But I was like, I'm sure by the end of the last episode, everything will come together.
Yeah, and it does.
But I was just kind of like, oh no, I'm just stupid.
Good thing you didn't like go on a forum and complain about.
Right.
No, I was just sitting there going like, can I see? I guess the whole time I was watching those other episodes, I was just like, I just want to see Yennefer's tits again.
It was.
Don't we all?
I thought you were gonna be like, I didn't realize watching the first 5 episodes, but I have a crush on Henry Cavill now. He's so awesome.
There's Harry Pex.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the second.
Yeah, it ended in a weird place, kind of, because it's like a battle is technically still going on.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Like we said, all the kind of time hopping.
Yeah, there was a battle technically still happening because they kind of like pushed it back a little bit, but they didn't stop it completely. Mm-hmm. And then the final line before the show ends is something that we were joking about the rest of the day. So like, I'd be looking at something. We went shopping around after we finished, and we went to a Half Price Books. I was looking at a game, and someone goes, "What you looking at there?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm looking at a game." And they're like, "So who's Yennefer?"
Nice.
I wish there was somewhere I could go and shop. There's nowhere.
I've been doing a lot of it.
There's Amazon and Walmart, and half my Amazon shit I'm not getting right now.
But yeah, I really liked it. It kind of took me by, like the whole thing about the time hopping took me by surprise. So that was kind of a nice little surprise for me.
Sweet.
And I really like it. I'm really looking forward to season 2. And the thing is, they are really hammering home that there is going to be a season 2, because the moment you bring up The Witcher on the home page, it says, "By the way, there's going to be a season 2." And then when the last episode ended and the credits roll, it pops up on screen. There will be a season 2. I was like, okay, I got it.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the show was so awesome because it lit a fire under my ass to finally finish Witcher 3. And Witcher 3 was the reason I bought the Xbox One originally. Like, I bought it like the day before Witcher 3 came out. Because I was like, I can't hold back anymore. I'm going to have to get it when either Witcher or Batman comes out. When Arkham Knight was supposed to come out like a couple months later. And I was like, whatever comes out first is probably when I'm going to buy an Xbox. And yeah, that's totally when I did.
Nice.
Well, and now that I finished it, I'm secretly hoping that my roulette wheel for the RPGs comes up with Witcher 2.
I hope so too. It was amazing. And I really revised my opinion of Witcher 3's combat when I went back to it and finished it, because I was like, yeah.
It's the same people that made Cyberpunk 2077. How can it go wrong? Get delayed
right.
500 times, whatever.
I don't know. Well, I mean, if it ends up being the quality of Witcher 3, I'm down with it.
Oh my god, this camera! You're gonna be the death of me.
But like I said, when I showed all the stuff, I'm like, what if it sucks? I've got collector's.
But it's at least got Keanu in it.
Yeah, like I got the collector's edition pre-ordered. I've got the Cyberpunk
controller,
and I've got the 2 figures. I'm like, what if it sucks though?
I
just have to fashion Keanu's character. Was it Johnny Silverhand or whatever? I'd have to just fashion it into like a Ted figure.
I was gonna say, you might as
There
well.
you go.
There you go, Ted Theodore Logan.
Whoa.
So yeah, with that, you guys already let the cat out of the bag, but I've been playing a lot of stuff, but what I've not been playing is Astro Boy.
You forgot to wink.
Yeah.
But since you didn't get to play much of you said you played about half of it.
Yeah, about half of it.
But so we're going to be doubling down for next episode. I figure I'm going to beat this, and I'm also going to play Astro Boy, the video game from the movie, and do that to recompense for my sins.
You know, I almost didn't come on the show because you didn't finish the game. Just saying.
I need two people to break.
Cap's finishing all the games, and you're finishing none.
Oh, I would say I've been finished.
Listen, I'm pretty sure Jason's beat more games than I
I was
have this
expecting
year.
his hand to come through the monitor and choke me out.
Actually, we're neck and neck, Cap.
Are we?
You're at 62 now, right?
61.
61.
I'm at 6.
Yeah, we're neck and neck because right now officially I'm at 60, but I'm at the last, like I said, the last checkpoint of The Last of Us Remastered,
Right.
and I'm on the last act of Gears of War 3 with Church. So that'll be probably by tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, right after this, I'm beating Last of Us. That's just that.
Yeah.
But
There's a little caveat though. I only count games I haven't beaten before. So if we added those in, like I just beat Super Mario Galaxy 2 again.
okay.
I beat Super C probably I don't know how many times already this year, but it's like
62.
I'm probably in like the 70s if I actually counted all the games I beat, but I like to focus only on the games I haven't beaten before.
I'll scan my list.
112.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so one.
We're gonna be here for a while.
I'm pretty sure
Let's
Jason.
chit-chat.
I'm pretty sure Jason beat over 100 last year, didn't you, Jason?
Yeah, I think I ended at 102.
That's because of that Pandora thing of his.
Oh, my arcade stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying, like all of a sudden it was like almost the end of the year, and like you're posting all these arcade games you beat.
Yeah, I was like November, I think, and I was like, oh, I'm at like, I thought I was at over 70 games, but I was at, and then I checked after I was talking about it on the podcast, and like made myself challenge. I was like, oh, I'm at like 70 something games, so I might as well push for 100. That'd be cool.
Definitely.
And then I looked after, and I was like, oh, 64 games. And I'm actually looking at the list. I think there's only about six games on there that I have beaten before. Most of them are quite a while. Like beat them when they were new, like Comic Zone.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, because you picked it up last time, and I was like, and then I was like looking through my 360 delisted games and shit on my, because I got a whole bunch of downloaded shit on there, and I was like, Comic Zone. I don't think it's delisted, but I was like going through a spell where I was playing a bunch of that stuff, and I was like, oh, Comic Zone.
Battle Los Angeles Part 2.
God, that was thank you. No, thank you. So anyway,
I got to beat Comic Zone at some point.
It's
tough.
It's got its tough points for sure. The thing that really pisses me off though is if you got to like punch through things.
It hurts you.
It hurts you. You're like,
yep, that's so stupid.
So sometimes there's ways to get around it and shit like that. So there's some cheap deaths and some, it's not really good for healing items. So you got to like really, really only use those when you have to. But it's
fun.
And I end up getting all the achievements for it too. So that was kind of cool on top of that. So anyway, since last episode, I was starting Maneater. I think it was about 4 or 5 hours into it when we last talked about it. I since completed that. Nice. Got all the achievements on that. Then I went right on to Doom 64 for some reason and played through the rest of that. I started it while I was waiting for Doom Eternal to install on the Xbox One, which took forever. So I got like pretty far into it.
Yeah, I'm slowly making my way through that remaster of Doom 64.
It's fun. It's got really tough parts. Like, goddamn, some of the easy enemies from Doom Eternal were like, like the cyber demons are like, they're no joke. The fuck like 2 hits. Then I beat Comic Zone. Then I finished my RPG roulette game, Legend of Dragoon, and that was a phenomenal game. I've been wanting to play that for years. I've had it forever. I don't know if I was holding out to getting a Black Label copy because I've probably came across 10 copies and buying lots and stuff, and I've never gotten a Black Label copy. But it's also a game that I'm not willing to spend any money on because I own it to upgrade it.
Right.
So I'm just waiting to get so I was like, maybe that's why I was holding off so long, but I'm glad I finally played it. It's one of those games that's like you're just gonna make it sound lame by trying to explain the story because there's so much going on, but without doing like an in-depth like 20-minute review video about it, I'm just gonna make it sound tropey as hell. But I really, really love the battle system in it. It reminds me a lot of the Mario RPG, Paper Mario type battle where there's like timed things that you can do to do more damage and stuff like that. It was excellent. I really liked a lot of the characters. The bosses were pretty cool. The story was awesome. There wasn't a whole lot of side stuff really to do, so it's not like I ran through it, but I pretty much did anything I was asked to do. And I think it took me about 62 hours, 63 hours.
Wow.
It was pretty awesome time. And I think it's one of my favorite PS1 RPGs now for sure.
Yeah, that's on my RPG roulette list.
Then after that, I decided to play one of my favorite games. And it's my first time beating it without using like any extra crap, without using back in the day, I think I beat it using a Game Genie because Carnage is...
You used a Billy Mitchell?
Bull. He's one of the cheapest bosses that I can think of in a game. It's like, this isn't even an arcade game. Why are you trying to make this a quarter muncher? But it's my first time playing through it. I mean, I've played... it's one of those games that you just go back to and just pick up casually and just play it for a bit, and then you can just turn it off and whatever. And I just always go back to it. It's one of my favorite beat 'em ups. But that's like the one stain on the game is the game's namesake.
Yeah,
Carnage. I love playing that game, and I was finally like, you know what, I need to do this legit, and I finally did it. But yeah, he really munches your lives. Thankfully, he doesn't really do a lot of different attacks between the couple of times you fight him. So once you fight him, you're like kind of used to what he's going to try to do. And yeah, I kind of forgot about what a weird ending that game has. It's kind of abrupt, and then it's like a fake credit roll, and then ending. But even like the real ending is kind of abrupt. But you get some comic panels as you do in the rest of the game, so makes it a little less weird.
Right.
So one of my favorites. Glad to finally. I don't know if I could count that one because now I beat it legit. Maybe it kind of counts as games I haven't.
Oh, it counts.
Yeah, and then I fired up my TurboGrafx Mini and I was playing a lot of those games and talking about games that are hard as shit. There's a lot of hard as shit games on there.
Yeah.
Punishing.
For that boss rush in Bonk's Adventure, huh, Cat?
Oh God.
I'm actually gonna probably play that next. I started playing a little bit of that with the kids.
Bonk's Adventure is great. Bonk's Revenge is tough.
Bonk's Revenge is Bonk's Adventure. I actually have the card of for the actual TurboGrafx, but
that's the only TurboGrafx game I have complete, like cardboard and everything.
Holy shit, that's extra rare. So anyway, I played through Ninja Spirit.
Yeah,
I've heard great things. It
is a really fun game. It's almost not even a platformer. It's more of like it feels more like a shoot 'em up, like Gunstar Heroes. And it starts out really easy, like really easy.
That shit escalates quick,
especially after playing some of the other games I was playing. Like I can't remember what other ones I was playing. Lords of Thunder, which Lords of Thunder wasn't crazy hard, but it was hard enough. And then I played this, and I played the first level without dying. I was like, did I even get hit? And then I'll get a couple levels, and then it gets kind of. Awesome game. It's got to be one of my favorite soundtracks immediately.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I put it in, I was like, this is amazing.
Your fucking nipples get hard and you get a boner.
I didn't even want to press start. I wanted to just sit there and listen to the music. So it was just like, all right. So yeah, Ninja Spirit was pretty fun. The end was bullshit. There's this part where you jump, like you literally just jump off a cliff down, and while you're falling, there's just ninjas flying upwards with their swords out, and you just kind of have to know where to go. To not, it's like an instant
Oh, that
kill,
sucks.
and you can shoot downwards, but it's not 100% effective. Like sometimes you'll kill them, or you'll be in between where your projectiles shoot out, so those come up and kill you. So it's more like you're like dodging, and they come up super fast. It was the only part of the game where I was like, "What a pain in the ass," because I was like, "Yeah," it was the only part where I had to like keep trying, and then I got to that. Then when you get to the bottom of the cavern, it's the end boss, and it's the easiest end boss I can think of besides jumping over Bowser and hitting the axe. You just dodge a couple like orb attacks he throws at you, and you're like, that was not even remotely hard. So
the hard part was the ninjas, man.
The floating upward ninjas. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was it was bullshit. But besides that, the game was awesome. Like, it was really creative.
That was one of the first games I wanted to add to my collection once I got a TurboGrafx back, in my possession. I was like, I need Ninja Scroll because that was one of the few games I played way back in the day that I loved.
Perfect. And then as it's Gears of War month for the Cartridge Club, their game of the month is the first Gears of War, and I've been on Church's ass to play his Xbox 360 that he bought like 2 years ago. And has not even fired on. Like, all right, I played your game. I played Undertale.
Do you even game, bro?
I played Undertale. You got me to play Undertale, so now you got to play Gears. And he's like, well, I've already played Gears 1 on PC, so maybe Gears 2. And I was like, so I beat, I said last time I beat Gears 1 and then Gears 1 Ultimate Edition on the Xbox One. But I was like, I made it some kind of goal for myself to go through all the 360 Gears games again. And we went through 2, and we're, like I said, most of the way through 3. But I was like, oh, shit, it's like the end of the month in a couple of days. So, and I was like, I'm not going to have much more days off before that, and we're probably going to use that to beat Gears 3. So I was like, I guess I just got to like solo through Judgment, which is story-wise my least favorite, but gameplay-wise, it was the last one to come out on the 360, so it's got all the improvements. Yeah, all the things I like. It's still not my favorite because I really hate Baird. I hate him.
Who?
Oh yeah, you've never. Have you played any of them, Cap?
Nope.
Well, it's the end of the month in like 3 days, so you got 3 days to get back to me on how awesome the series is. Yeah, then kind of spoiling one of my pickups, but after that, I got obsessed with this, and I blame this probably for why I didn't pick up and play Astro Boy, because I got right into.
Don't make excuses.
Daymare 1988. No, I'm just enabling myself. I'm an enabler, bro, after all.
Yeah.
And, Daymare 1998. I'm pretty sure it's starring Idris Elba right there.
I was going to say Idris Elba's on the freaking cover.
Is that
Channing Tatum.
And by the way, that definitely isn't his voice in the game. The voice actor for that character is, well, I don't know if you guys saw my tweet when I beat it, but I said pretty terrible at voice acting at times, and it's entirely that actor. And he's like one of the most emotional parts of the game, so you're like, I'm not really taking this serious. I don't really care. But it started out as a Resident Evil fan game, and it really shows because it's pretty much exactly Resident Evil in almost every way. It plays a lot like the remakes. There's a couple quirks that it has its own. You have to load the clips yourself. Like you have to go and and like you go in the sub menu where you would usually like combine things and stuff like that in Resident Evil, like the herbs and whatever. But you actually have to take the box of bullets and combine it with the clips. And I think that's to add to the suspense, because you only get a couple clips. And if you run out and you go to reload and you got nothing in there, you got your kind of SOL. So you got to kind of get used to managing that. And it sounds really annoying, but actually you get used to it pretty quickly. I gotta say though, the handgun doesn't feel useless like it does in the Resident Evil. Like the 8 headshots to everything, and you're like, or sometimes just one. And you can actually, it felt a lot better. Like sometimes it's one headshot. It always seemed to be between 1 and 3, so it was pretty effective. Excellent game. It did what it set out to do. Definitely, I count it up there with Resident Evil games, but the last chapter or whatever was such a pain in the ass. there's this boss that is an absolute bullet sponge, and you have to kill him a certain way. And it took me way too long to like go, all right, this guy's just not dying. I basically got him to like be stuck behind something, and there's this part where you can just keep grabbing more ammo, so you don't have to worry about managing your clips because he'll slaughter you if you let him get to you. So I kind of got him like stuck where he'd just be trying to run at me or attack me, and I was like, cool. I can just stand here and pick him off slowly. And I was gonna take a picture, and I really should have, of all these clips all over the floor. It kind of reminded me of something out of Hot Shots when he's firing his gun, and then he's like up to his nipples and
bullet casings.
There was a good 70 clips on the ground. And it just kept shooting him, and he'd go down. Like sometimes in those games where like the character will go down to one knee, and you're like, oh, cool, this is where I can really damage them. And he just kept doing that, and I was like, what the hell? And I tried this other thing that's in the middle of the room, and I was like, oh, that didn't really do much to him. So I never tried it again, but you just have to do that twice, and he dies.
Oh, jeez.
But you got to get him to like get downed on that thing. And I used so much ammo on him. I was like, well, that took longer than it needed to. And then you get into this chase where he chases you, the same character, and it's a one-hit kill if he catches you. So it's like, that's the only part where I actually died in the game, and I was like, damn it. And but I went shit, and I quit to like the PS4 menu and went back, and then I did it just fine, and I ended up getting the it was a trophy called Immortal for never dying. I was like, oh well, I didn't even know that was one, but I got it, and I feel dirty because I died.
Cheating bastard. Billy Mitchell again.
Right? Yeah. We just call Jason Billy from now on.
Yeah.
Little Billy Mitchell. But
Billy Flood Gaming.
Besides that, I've been chipping away at The Last of Us remaster before I get into Last of Us 2. And yeah, you guys know the story of that. I'm on the if I play 5 more minutes, I'm done. So that's good.
Yeah. It's par of the course with Jason.
Billy Mitchell, he got records reinstated by Guinness, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right? So now we can't make fun of him if we see him at the MGC next year.
I mean, we can.
Although I hope to see him eating out of the garbage again.
Yeah, I laugh every time I see a picture of him, because when anything uses the picture of him, it's always that video he took at MGC.
Yeah,
I'm standing to the side laughing at him.
And then was it you or was it Josh that took the picture of him like digging in the trash?
It must have been Josh, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like him digging in a trash can in the lobby.
Is
Jeez.
this where they threw my certificates?
Yeah, this is where they threw my credibility.
So I like PSVR. Do you guys like PSVR?
I like PSVR.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Awkward transition, but I found
Get with the segue, man.
I wanna get this Kickstarter. I'm not big on Kickstarters. I've only ever done 2, and one was for that Spawn figure remaster, and the other was for the NES maker. But there's this game called Desolatium. Kind of a weird name, kind of a dumb name actually. But it's a PSVR horror game set in like the Lovecraftian style, and it looks cool as shit. So I think
Soul American.
I think everybody should jump on this Kickstarter so it can get made, because more PSVR is only a good thing.
Everyone needs more Cthulhu in their lives.
Yep. I just watched the trailer tonight, and I'm already sold on it.
Yeah, I need it. I need it a lot.
I want it willingly.
Put the link in the description below, Jason.
I will. Well, it'll be there.
Okay, man, do it.
It'll be there with all our.
And then we'll get the game 5 years from now.
Probably 3 to 5.
Yeah.
PS6 will get announced. And
PS6 will be out.
Oh.
Yeah.
It won't be backwards compatible on the PS5 either.
No.
It'll be coming out just like the Wii U games that are very, very few and far between coming out still.
Yeah. Although, yes, there are still Wii U games coming out.
There
I just found out that there's one called Shakedown Miami or something.
Yep, I just saw that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I kind of want that.
That's even coming out on the Wii.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, they should,
Like there's still games coming out on the Wii, and they're not called Just Dance.
Right? Yeah.
yeah, they should actually just do what they did with Rodea Sky Soldier and put both copies in one game.
I would.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now.
Do now. Come on.
Do it.
So, yeah, I'm sold on that. I mean, I thought I heard they were only doing that game in the UK, but I heard something about when I saw an article about the picture they showed was like a North American version with like the.
Well, even so, the isn't the Wii U region free?
I don't think so.
Is it?
I don't know.
I'll have to look into that. But I thought the Switch was Nintendo's first non-region free.
So. They'll say it's region locked.
Shit.
Damn it.
Bullshit. I have to go import one just to play one.
Damn you, Miyamoto!
Actually, if I'm importing one, I'm going to play that Fatal Frame game that's on it too, because they got a physical copy of that only in Japan.
Assholes!
But yeah, there's not much in the way of news stuff. We didn't really go too in depth looking for news to talk about, but
no, but I would like to talk about some pickups.
No, pickups would be great.
Pickups would be amazing.
Picking the ups.
Okay, well, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So would you?
Oh, nice segue.
See, he can do it, everybody. He can do it.
He can do a segue to that, but he can't beat Astro Boy.
Oh shit!
No, I can't. I can't. We'll see.
He can't even start Astro Boy.
The power of Kristen Bell compels you.
I was way too intimidated by this cover. It looks too awesome. It looks like a Mega Man cover. Honestly, I don't know how I didn't just. You know how I did?
In your face.
I didn't even take it off the shelf because usually when I get it, I take it off the shelf and put it on the table, and I went directly to bed because I think it was like 3:30 in the morning when we were done our last.
Yeah, it was.
That's probably why. We're not doing that tonight. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it a little shorter.
Short and sweet.
Hopefully, I gotta get up there with my youngest daughter tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta get all them kids. I gotta be their wrestling buddy, like those 80s stuffed toys. They gotta jump all over me. I am not allowed to even go near the floor. Like even if I'm looking for something under the couch, it's like, oh, Dad's in wrestle mode. Everyone pile on. So yeah, definitely. We're not going too late.
How's your back?
So Cap, what do you picked up lately?
All right, so I've really been getting into the Master System lately. And in my last pickup video, I talked about how there's this terrible store near me. It's the closest one, which sucks because they have really good prices, but they also have really bad prices. And so they have Wonder Boy and Monster Land without the manual in pretty bad shape for like $70, and that's like a $50 game complete.
Yeah.
And so my buddy John Brown, the Bandana Gamer, sent me a complete in box copy. So that was pretty cool.
Badass.
They actually have that at that store I took you to on Harlem.
Oh, do they? Nice.
Yeah, they had a copy of that in the case. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, they're probably not charging $70 for it, are they? But I was like, so that was cool. And then so he, I also bought. He's selling all of his Master System stuff, and so he talked to me first, and so I bought like 7 games.
Perfect.
So that was pretty cool. R-Type was probably being the one that was the best one I got. But he gave me a good deal on it, which was pretty cool.
I got a pretty good idea. That's before I started collecting Master System. That's one of the first ones I got. A buddy of mine's Master System broke. And he's just like, I don't know, you want these for a couple bucks? And I was like, yeah, I don't have to. I'm gonna have to.
I should probably beat an R-Type game at some point. I have multiple of them, and
I've been really trying to get a copy of the Game Boy Color. Was it R-Type DX? I had that back in the day, and I loved it, but it's so goddamn expensive now.
Yeah, I really should have put that on my backlog roulette, but I didn't. But oh well.
Well, damn.
A Nintendo Switch game that I've been wanting for a while since it came out.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone.
I know.
You
I'm talking
wanted a
about
Nintendo
games, right?
Switch game. You
Don't worry.
wanted a
Don't
Nintendo
worry.
Switch game.
Don't worry. I've got 2 Switch games I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure they're only Switch games I picked up this month. And I've got like 7, 8 PS4 games. I think I picked up like 20 PS4 games this month. It's insane. But this Switch game I wanted for a while, but you guys know Nintendo never drops their prices.
Nope.
So it took until Target, I told you about this, Pico, buy 2, get 1 free deal, and this surprisingly was on it, because usually like Nintendo doesn't do deals like this. But I finally picked up Astral Chain.
Sweet.
Jason's favorite game of the year.
I know he talked about that last podcast, how he loved it at first, and it kind of wasn't as good at the end.
It starts off where you're like, holy shit. And then around the middle of it, you're like,
yeah,
this again.
Right. But it's just kind of cool. You know,
So
it's a new Nintendo IP. And so, you know, I finally got in it. Like, I really didn't pay full price, since I got, you know, I buy 2, get 1 free.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't try to buy too much from Limited Run, because I don't love their business practice.
Yeah,
but
I like that they've been pre-ordering open.
Exactly.
I like that.
But there was one that, even though I hate Ghosts and Goblins, there's a game that plays similar to it. Well, it's really more like Ghouls and Ghosts, but that's
because there's a difference.
Yeah, Battle Princess Madeline.
Sweet.
So that came out with a physical copy. For some reason, I looked when I was adding this to my list, and I was like, they actually came out with a PS4 version. So either I missed that, or they were already sold out, because I would definitely buy the PS4 version over that.
My man, that's me all over.
I'm
like, when I see a cool Switch game, I'm like, wait, is it exclusive? Because it isn't.
Yeah.
And I can
Fuck the Switch. Give me PS4 all day long.
I knew you had it in your cap.
Oh, definitely. But no joke. I ordered that, I think, back in November of last year, with 2 other games. But obviously, they don't send you your order until the last game is ready, and so that was just the pre-order. Yeah. And so whatever. And you guys been talking a lot about this game, Maneater. I picked that up.
Hell yeah!
So, I just played it briefly, but it looks awesome. So really excited for that.
It's so fun.
Yep. Yeah. And then Pico, you've been talking about these games. I think it started. GameStop had the deal of the day for $5 for a brand new copy of this game, and it was the 3rd one in the series. I'm like, well, now I need all the games, and so I'm like, well, I went on Amazon and bought them all, and then I think the last game was part of the Target buy 2 get 1 free, and that is the Darksiders games. Yep. So Darksiders 3 was $4.99, brand new for GameStop.
Yeah. For some reason, that is dirt cheap now.
Yep. So I'm like, well, now I need 2 and 1, so I picked those up.
Excellent.
And then I'm like, well, now I need Genesis. So got that.
Yeah.
And now I got to start playing those, because they look like the perfect type of games for me. Like, I love the hack and slash. It kind of seems like God of War-esque.
Yeah, it's like Devil May Cry meets Zelda is like what.
Yeah, one of my friends was saying like the first one is kind of like playing Ocarina of Time a little bit.
The first one's still my favorite, but I love 2. I have 3 on PS4 and Xbox One, and I was so stoked for it, and I just haven't started it. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's not stoked enough.
You're right, exactly.
But honestly, what I saw of it, I was just kind of like, oh, it kind of. I was just like, man, I'll try it eventually. But Genesis though looks like a game I have to pop in right away.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like Diablo, right? Kind of like that, I think.
Yeah.
Top down and stuff. That's pretty cool. But I love how it's like you play as the 4 horsemen in each of the in each of the games. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why I love the story so much.
Another one of those limited runs that came with Battle Princess Madeline. I got the limited edition for Stranger Things 3.
Yeah.
Just because I love the show, but I love how it came in the NES style box. And then the soundtrack came with it, and that is actually in an NES case, which is really cool. So yeah, this was an expensive order from Limited Run, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't really go out of my way, but there's a couple of them that I'm like, I got.
Did you get the Blaster Master Zeros yet, bro?
I
waited till the last minute, but
I'm sure you did.
But that one's pretty cool. It's like, I don't know if you guys played the mobile Stranger Things game.
Yeah, I still have it on my phone.
Yeah, which is a great game, but this is more RPG-ish. So it seems awesome. So once I finish the game I'm currently playing, that's probably the game I'm going to play next. But speaking of which, I alluded to this when I talked about what I'm playing lately. I didn't want to talk about it yet, but I did pick up right away The Last of Us Part 2, Special Edition, just because I wanted the Steelbook.
Absolutely. Steelbook
Which,
slut, you know?
Right?
Hashtag Steelbook slut.
I don't have with me. It's upstairs. I started it last night. And I'm about 8 hours in now, and I absolutely love it. I know it's been shit on.
I don't understand why people are review bombing it.
I mean, I think
is it because of their main character being a lesbian?
I don't. It's not necessarily that. I don't want to give spoilers away, but I think
don't do it. I gotta start it tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
You play. So the special edition was called the Ellie edition. So obviously you're going to play as Ellie the most. You know, like that was pretty straight. Like you knew that was happening, but you play as somebody else with her, which is fine. She's not as great as Joel, but it's fine. I would say I probably like the first one better, but it's still it's. I'm very invested in the story. The gameplay is just as good. I was talking to Wes from Gaming Off the Grid, and he mentioned like it reminded him of The Walking Dead, and it was like, yeah, that's right. It's very Walking Dead-esque because this has kind of gotten away from the infected and more towards humans. Yeah, which is what I love about this is because it really makes you think, like if this actually happened to humanity, how people would actually act. You know, exactly. Like they would defend themselves, and like you'd be very suspicious of other people, and like it really makes you question your beliefs and your morals and stuff. But I'm loving it so far. I can't put it down. In fact, I was playing it tonight before we started the podcast, and I was like, God damn, I really don't want to stop playing, but we're gonna start the podcast soon, so I should probably stop. But
yeah, I need to buy a copy of it.
That's what I like about this too. Yeah, I totally get the Walking Dead similarities as the first one. Even like the people were more to deal with than the clickers and stuff, because you're like, people are shittier than those things are, you know,
right?
Like, it's constant, you know, you knew when you were coming to an area with the clickers, but then the people were always just yeah, it's just the same as in The Walking Dead. I'm hoping that it doesn't take a total backseat like it seemed to on The Walking Dead, where it became more about the humans. I'm like,
right,
Chris and I have talked about it before, how much we hate when a thing that's supposed to be about something is about humans. Like AVP was all about the humans more than the aliens and the predators. Transformers is all about the humans. And like a third of it is about the Transformers.
Right.
Like that. Like I can't stand when, you know, like it was funny when the newest Godzilla, King of the Monsters came out. Everyone, like people that were reviewing were like, oh yeah, it's like all about the monsters fighting, and there's barely anything about like the people are just kind of rushed through, and you're like, oh, so it's good. Like I actually get to see what I'm going to see.
Yeah, well, I'll be interested to see what you think once you start it, Jason. Like I said, I'm only 8 hours in. I think it takes a little over 20 hours to beat. So
absolutely, yeah. I'm steamrolling the first one and
we'll beat it in one day.
Going through it, yeah. Yeah, I'll just go full neglect mode. I'll say I'm going to work, and then I'll just come back in the side door and go downstairs. And
he's got a little pee jar next to him, next to the couch.
I wish I could do that, but unfortunately, my PS4 is upstairs, so like I can't hide.
Yeah, I ended up bringing mine upstairs to get more progress on The Last of Us 2, because like I was saying, the game room doesn't get much games played in. It's more just like the game library.
Yeah.
This time I store them down here, and then and this time last year I had no game systems upstairs. The only thing I had that I could possibly play games on was the PS TV, because it was just so tiny. And I got little ones, so I was a little worried about them touching it. But they all seem to be very wary of like, don't touch Dad's game stuff.
Yeah.
Unless he says it's time, we're gonna play some games. So yeah, I've broken my own rules, and I've installed the second TV in the living room. I got a side TV. And nice. It works out really well. And usually I let them use the big TV, and I just play on the side TV. But when I'm playing a beautiful game like The Last of Us, I'm like, oh, sorry guys, and they don't care. It's funny because my wife, who's not watching the show, cares more that, oh come on. I'm like, they don't mind. They can. My game's quiet. Theirs is, and I probably shouldn't be playing Last of Us around them. Not about the scary parts, but about the swearing.
Right.
My wife's like, what they say? And they're like, we don't say those words. And I'm like, so I don't have to take it downstairs. That's good.
Yep.
If it goes downstairs, it takes 8 times longer to beat it. All right. So is there anything else you picked up recently? Or
I mean, there's definitely a lot more, but that's all I brought to share with.
cool. Yeah, we don't want to share everything, but yeah.
Right.
What's Pico got? Let's take a Pico. What you got?
In May, I remember I was saying last time I only bought like 2 games.
Yeah.
I bought more than that this month.
Good.
Because a lot of the stores opened back up, and I found some really good deals. I showed you that deal of those Super Nintendo games I got for like $44.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You did.
and I was like, oh. Anyway, one of the games in that lot that I got is Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Nice.
Love it.
I had this back in the day, and I really didn't like it back in the day. Don't ask me why. I just didn't.
What the hell's wrong with?
I don't know. The EB Games in one of our malls had like a return policy. If you bought a game and you didn't like it, you had like 5 days to return it and either get your money back or exchange it for something else. And I did return this.
Well, it's definitely tough as balls if you're trying to beat it.
It wasn't that. I just
Oh,
don't. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't. But then when I got back into collecting, I picked up. Actually, one of my brother's friends gave me a Genesis copy, and I played it on that, and I was just like, "This is fucking awesome."
That's such a good game.
So I was like, "I want my Super Nintendo copy back." God damn it!
Hell yeah. My buddy used
So-
to have it and back in the day on the Super Nintendo. That's where I got used to playing it. But yeah, it took a while to find it when I started collecting.
This thing is minty as hell, dude. It is
Nice.
like it looks like nobody touched it.
Mhm.
So I'm super glad I have that back in my collection, so I can finally play through it all the way.
Good luck with that.
I know, right?
The funny thing is, like my Super Nintendo.
Notice how I'm not arguing with you.
The reason I got my Super Nintendo copy, I guess I technically didn't spend money on it, but I worked it off. I guess I got Dracula X and Zombies Ate My Neighbors for chaperoning my brother's friend's prom party out at his so yeah, that was
Interesting. Yeah.
it was basically
Did you end up beating Zombies Ate My Neighbors on stream, Cap? I remember you were streaming it that one time.
I did not. No. Nope. I've never beaten it. I've gotten close, but it gets tough at the end. And
Yeah.
like, sure, it gives you passwords, but they're no help because when you use a password, you start with the basic weapons,
you don't get
and-
to build up nothing.
right? And on those harder levels, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's almost like
You got to beat it all the way through.
you got to go all the way through it or
That's some bullshit.
the worst.
Yep. Maybe make it and I'll do it for the mega powers.
Do
There you
it.
go. It might be easier playing it
Yeah.
dual wield it.
Yep.
Then back in March, I ordered this off of eBay and it showed up last week.
Woo!
And it's a Hokuto no Ken game for the Saturn
Oh,
that I got from Japan. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you ever played Godzilla on the Super Nintendo, the way the fights happen in that, where you have like a meter that goes back and forth. You have to kind of get it at the right time to do an attack. The fights, if you can kind of see it on the back, the fights are kind of like that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, neat.
And then like you'll see like an anime section of like thing happening.
Perfect.
But I'm a huge Hokuto no Ken fan. You're a Fist of the North Star fan, so I absolutely had to have this. One of my goals is to get all the Japanese Fist of the North Star games.
Yeah, because there's way more there than there are here.
Oh yeah,
The only one I'm missing for North America is the NES one, and
I got that.
it ain't
But
expensive.
there's like 4 or 5 of them for the NES or for the Famicom. There's way more. There's a bunch for the Super Nintendo. There's an RPG for the Super Nintendo.
And most of them are fighting games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That aren't over here. Like the one we got for NES is
The worst one of that came out in Japan.
Isn't it like a shitty beat 'em up? That's kind of what
Yeah, it's like a platform beat 'em up. But the thing is, like out of the 4 or 5, I think it was 4 that came out in Japan
It's
for the
the-
Famicom. They gave us the worst one.
Yeah, asshole.
Mhm.
And then even on our Genesis one, they didn't even call it anything. To
No,
do.
it's last battle. Then they because it was too violent. So I'm trying to find a copy of the original Japanese version of it so I can see the people's heads exploding.
Yeah, come on.
I too also I got this through that buy 2 get 1 free sale through Target. So I picked up Daymare 1998.
Oh,
Nice.
So I did something different than Captain did. I realized they were also selling movies in that sale, so I got two games and one free game, and 2 movies and 1 free movie. So yeah, Daymare was one of my movies. I'm not going to show all of those.
What? Daymare was a movie?
Daymare was a movie?
Huh? Oh, did I say movie?
Yeah.
It's also 1 in the morning.
No excuses, Pico.
Goss, I should be drinking the caffeinated tea.
Perfect.
A guy I follow on Facebook, I think it's Jesse Baker. He runs a store called Arcade Legacy. And when people bring in big lots to sell, he'll actually post everything that came in on Facebook and offer it to people on his Facebook group before he actually puts it up for sale in the store.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
So, like, I bought a couple of like Genesis games from him in the past and all that, but he had like a bunch of Game Boy Advance games, and one of them I didn't recognize. So I was like, "What is that?" And he goes, "I don't know, dude. Just fucking look it up on Amazon or YouTube." So I did, and it's like right up my alley. And it's called Back to Stone, and it's an isometric action RPG.
Nice.
And basically, your character has like been experimented on, so he's got like this like claw, like Prince of Persia, the reboot that they did, the really shitty one that everyone hates. That guy kind of had that claw for grappling.
I didn't hate it. This wasn't awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of. This guy's got this claw, and it lets his body turn to stone, so he can't take damage for like a certain amount of time. So that looked kind of neat. So I picked that up.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And then you're talking about the limited run stuff. I don't know why I bought this. I thought this was an exclusive, like through limited run. Turns out it came out for the Sega CD back in the day too, and I'm just stupid. So I ended up ordering a copy of The Secret of Monkey Island, the reprinting through limited run for the Sega CD. And then I saw that there was like it came in one of those original cardboard box ones, like Batman Returns did or Time Gal. So I bought it, and then like I want to say 20 minutes after I bought it, I saw a picture of it for the original version. I was like, wow.
well, I'll take it off your hands if you ever get the other copy.
The legit copy.
Yeah.
I probably won't bother now because I have this.
Right.
So I mean, it's still a legit copy. It's just not the original packaging.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a point and click adventure game from LucasArts, and I love those. So why not?
Yeah, like I never played them until they put them out on the 360, but they are a good time.
Yeah. Especially when your Sega CDs actually work.
Hey, shut up! Quit spoiling my things. I'm going to talk about.
But I also picked up a bunch of movies on that sale on Amazon. So I thought I had this. I thought I bought it when it first came out, but apparently I did not. So I picked up a copy of John Wick 3 on 4K.
It took this long?
It did. It totally did, and I'm a dumbass. I thought I owned it, so when I saw it on the listing of the movies that were available in the sale. I was kind of like,
"This interview is over."
I was like, "I think I have it," and then I went and I looked, and I was like, "How do you not have that?" So I picked it up.
Disappointed, Pico.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm proud of you for finally-
all the hate is well deserved. I swear, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember in the A through B movie live stream that I did a couple weeks ago, I was talking about Apocalypse Now, and the version that I had on Blu-ray has the original theatrical cut and the Redux cut, and I was like, I know there's a third cut, and I cannot remember what it's called. And then, like 2 days later, Cap tells me about this sale, and I look, and they have the final cut box set on 4K, which has the theatrical cut, the Redux cut, and the final cut, and it's a 6-disc set for crying out loud.
Jesus.
And it even has the feature-length documentary about the making of the movie Heart of Darkness, which I was saying I wanted to have also. So I was like, okay, I'm picking that up. So I bought that. So I finally have every version of it.
Right. So I'm like a junior enabler brother, right? Because like every time I see these sales, I'm like, hey, Pico.
You're an honorary enabler, bro.
We do it. Yeah. It's a network where it's not just the two of us.
Yeah.
We all have to enable each other. It's this spread the love kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then the third movie I got is a
more like
it's not coming out until next month, so that's not going to show up until then. But I pre-ordered the limited edition of the Flash Gordon that's coming from the UK. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So, but that's my pick. The stuff I picked up to talk about. There's a lot more I could have talked about, but I'm saving it for my stream on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, so we just like to talk about some
Right.
highlights.
Yeah. What you get, bro?
Unfortunately,
get,
a lot
bro?
of my stuff's not even like, it's trapped over across the border where I can't go right now. So I'm going to talk about pretty much everything I picked up from last time because I don't really do pickup videos anymore. I got a Switch game.
You should start. Do it again.
Only because it's I do need to do more videos. That's why this podcast is.
You know what?
Keep
So do I.
Yeah, right. Hey, where's that top 10 NES video?
Oh, it's happening now that I don't have to do the podcast anymore. I got time.
Absolutely. Well, I picked up Helmet,
Oh, nice.
which is a pretty cool kind of isometric dungeon crawler roguelike type game. Looked pretty cool. I would prefer a PS4 copy, but thanks Walmart, you only got the Switch one, but it was really cheap, like really cheap.
Yeah.
I think it was like 12.
Like really cheap.
Right.
Yeah. So brand new. I was like, right on. Or you
We all
talk
make sacrifices about Switch games.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. If I can switch up, I probably will. And when I switch up,
Oh!
if I switch up, I do mean that I'll buy it for another console and then just neglect my Switch copy.
Yep.
And then but still have both. And I don't. I picked up another thing I've been meaning to grab for a while, and that was Street Fighter V Championship Edition.
Nice.
Because I've had the regular one, and
The 23rd copy that they've released, man.
well, yeah, pretty much. I got the original one. I think I got it for like $6.
Jeez.
But
I like playing online.
I was just like, you know what? I just got it to. I'll check it out one of these days. Play the demo version of this game, basically.
So, now watch Super Street Fighter 5 is gonna be coming out.
It's gonna be Turbo Super Street Fighter 5 Turbo Champion Edition or some shit.
Yeah, I have the arcade edition.
I picked up one that. Speaking of Walmart only getting like one console's version of a game, they've had the Xbox version of this game for a while, but I've been holding out because this version has VR, and that's Ace Combat 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't own any Ace Combat games, but they've always looked really cool, and I've heard they're kind of like arcadey fun, not super flight simmy, and I figured what better way to check it out for the first time than with the VR version. And
I've got Ace Combat when it was called Air Combat, sucker.
Dude, I love Air Combat. That's a great game.
I hate long boxes. Does it have a dual case edition?
I can't tell you.
I've got
I
the dual
can't
case
say.
version.
Do it up.
It's a great test, though. I don't know if they have a black label one.
I don't know.
And speaking of this, Walmart also didn't get the fucking Steelbook, but I had to have it the day it came out, so I didn't pre-order it on Amazon. So I got Last of Us Standard Edition, but I will upgrade at some point.
Right.
When I can go to the store, because us sluts need our fill.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, I'm slutty.
my last I didn't even realize how many Steelbooks I had until I started pulling them out to take that picture like a month ago. God,
Not on camera, I hope.
Yeah, pull it right
Pull them
out.
out.
Pull it right out. And this last one is actually a game my kids picked out, and I am more happy to oblige them on, and that is Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. It just released this week, and it's already in the cheap games. So my kids could literally pick up and be like, SpongeBob, Dad. And I'm
How
like,
much was it?
It was like in the $29.99, so it'd be like $19.99 for you guys.
God
wow.
damn.
So I was just
Already?
like,
Damn.
I mean,
David Hasselhoff in that one?
I mean, all remastered games should come out in the cheap bins. Honestly,
Is it it's a remaster?
Definitely.
yeah, it's a remaster of like the
Oh.
and I have that, and it's a lot of fun. So I was like, you know what? I remember playing that with my little brother, so now I get to play the next gen version with the next gen, which is my kids. And
Oh.
Nice.
it's a co-op game, so I was like, hell yeah, we can do
It
that.
comes full circle.
Yep.
Yikes! And continuing with our thing we talked about a couple weeks ago, and that's animated DC movies.
Oh shit, yeah.
And shows and shit. You already know what this is, but I picked up Lego Shazam Magic Monsters. And it's got like all the, I love Lego, I love DC, I love Lego animated shit, so that's a trifecta of awesomeness for me. I would recommend it to anyone who doesn't already love Lego, or have kids. They're not super deep stories, but it's like an actual movie-length movie, and they're entertaining.
Yeah, since we did that video where we're talking about all those DC animated movies, my DC collection, remember I was whining about how it was very lacking.
Yeah.
It's not so lacking anymore. I think I've added like 20 of them in the last month.
Oh, wow.
Hope we're picking up doubles. We have to just get a list and start trading.
Yeah, I know, right?
And this isn't a movie, but it's a show that I actually I checked out the first episode of it, and I was like, I'm going to go buy that season at Walmart because it was hilarious. And that's DC Harley Quinn, the complete first season.
All the cussing.
It's not for kids, so don't watch it for kids. And that's a super bummer because what's my daughter's favorite?
Harley Quinn.
Right, yeah.
So
you can't hear her talking about butt plugs and stuff.
yeah, there's so much more. Yeah, it's definitely an adult cartoon, but I literally just watched the first episode on Amazon Prime, and I was like, this is awesome. So I'm going to pick that up for collection's sake.
See, the Canadians are awesome because all the stuff that's on the DC streaming service here in the US, they get on Netflix or Amazon over there for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Titans, you said it's not on your...
By the way, Jason, fuck you.
I was like, dude, what
damn
Titans?
Canadians.
I remember when it came out, I was like, dude, Titans is awesome. You're like...
Yeah. Like,
oh,
what?
You're like,
yeah, he texted me. He's like, have you ever seen Titans? I was like, no, I'm not getting that DC streaming service crap.
I'm
like, oh, it's on Netflix over here. I was like, fuck you.
Speaking of which, the second season has been out forever, and I love the first season, and we haven't started watching the second one yet. But,
Jason, you should just share your login with people.
Yeah.
Get a VPN, and I'll give you my password.
ExpressVPN is our sponsor for today, people.
It is up ExpressVPN. Yeah, so that's about all I got for pickups.
Sweet.
But I guess we're gonna do a VR game feature.
Yeah, I do believe it is your turn this month.
Yeah, and it's a game that,
week.
We're doing pretty good.
We're trying to do this more often now.
We're doing the bi-weekly thing, I think, now. So it's a game I'm actually pretty sure all three of us.
Yeah, our shows go both ways.
Nice, yep.
On the weekend.
Yeah.
Operation Warcade. If you played Operation Wolf and thought it was awesome and think it would be kind of cool to put your face through the screen.
So remember when you were a kid and you used to put your face right on the arcade game screen? Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's basically that. You're standing at an arcade machine and it scrolls the level for you, but you can lean and see what's upcoming, see what you've already passed by. And it's not going to win any awards for prettiest graphics. Maybe on PS1 or early PS2, but it is a ton of fun. It's the same arcadey action you'd come to expect, and they've patched it, so I think I can actually platinum it now.
Yeah.
When I was playing through it, the platinums were impossible, so that sucks.
Oh, wow.
But I think I'm only like 2 or 3 away, and that's all the I like to have an excuse to go back to a game, so maybe I'll go back and platinum that. I beat the game, but some of the trophies, even when you do the requirement, wouldn't pop up. So I was like, well, that sucks. But if you just want an arcadey shooting experience on the cheap, it's a really cheap game.
Yeah, it is. I picked it up because John Riggs talked about it in one of his PSVR game videos.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really fun. I was like, I looked it up, and it was dirt cheap.
Yeah, I think I got it for $8.
Yeah.
From
Screw
Best
my
Buy.
recommendation. Riggs already endorsed it. So what the hell?
Yep.
Do what Riggs says. Now.
Come on. What the fuck, Mods? Mods, what the fuck?
When I went to put it away, I forgot about my random pickup. My wife just grabbed me
Nice.
Baby Yoda. So this really reminds me of.
Now you got to punch it in the head.
Yeah.
Put it in a bag and punch it.
He's like a newborn. That's cool. He's a 6-year-old newborn. That's neat.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to press the soft spot, Jason. Come on.
Yeah. What? It's a joy. Yeah. Don't try this at home.
No. So Jason did his PSVR pick, and I usually do my 4K UHD pick of the episode. So I went and picked up a copy of Bad Boys for Life.
You did it.
I did it. I finally did it. They actually had one in stock at the Target.
Nice.
And the cool thing is, this one's actually like IMAX enhanced. So I guess they had shot scenes specifically with an IMAX camera, which means it's like super tall.
So
it'll fill up my entire screen.
So I think we need to get Walmart and Target to also battle it out to be our sponsors, because a lot of this is brought to by Target or Walmart.
Yeah, I know, right? Mm-hmm. But I think I talked about this in the very first episode we did, because we're talking about movies that we had just seen, and I'd just gotten around to seeing it in the theater when it was like on its way out.
Yeah, I remember you saying like, "Oh, I really got to get a copy of that," because
it's the best of the trilogy so far. Because the first two, like I've said before, the first two I just look at them as like simple schlock action movies. You know, there's really no depth to it. It's just things blow up, go boom, funny stuff happens, movie over. This is the one that has a plot. This is the one that has the character development, and they actually set it up for a fourth film, which I hope they make, because if the direction they went with for this one is any indication of where it could possibly go in the future, I'm really looking forward to it.
All right.
Sweet.
So I highly recommend Bad Boys for Life. I'll
check that out. I've only seen the first two, so
yeah, this one is my favorite of the three so far.
Nice.
I'll have to rewatch them. It's been so long. Like,
they're dumb as shit, but they're fun.
Because I don't think I've seen them since they're new. I watched them like once or twice, and that was it.
They've got the typical Michael Bay-isms, some good, some bad.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then Willis and Smiths.
And the funny thing is, Michael Bay had nothing to do with this. They brought in some new people to direct it, but Michael Bay's actually in it.
No, nice.
There's a wedding. There's a wedding that happened.
Lee, huh?
I thought it was kind of funny. At least they thought it was like reverential to bring the guy who created the franchise to come in, and there's like a wedding that takes place, and he's emceeing the wedding.
Nice.
I was like, is there like a mob shootout and he gets shot 67?
No. And then I was hoping that Optimus Prime would show up and step on him.
That's what I was hoping would happen to the humans in every one of those movies so far. Oh, the humans, and then just
now Shia LaBeouf, Chuck Shia LaDouche, crunch.
Shia LaCrunch. Yeah, well, I mean, his last name is the Beef in French, so he be squashing the beef. So
the beef.
That's why I always call him the Beef. And everyone's like, "What?" I'm like, Shia LaBeouf.
The beef. It's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
In La Francais.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. I got to represent some sort of French for some reason.
Not just talk about Tim Hortons and chalet sauce.
Europe.
It's like, shut up.
And I do not like to talk about hockey.
Yeah. While doing it doggy style, so you both can watch X-Files.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love doggy style though? Do we invent that? You guys are welcome for that and basketball.
I had a friend who, like, we went out to dinner, and while we're eating dinner, he randomly says, "Oh, by the way, if you ever get a chance, do it doggy style." We're like, "What?
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I highly recommend Third Input." We're like, "What?" And his girlfriend's sitting there going, "Oh."
And they broke up that night.
No, they were together for at least another year. But we're just looking at him like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
She's right there, man.
Yeah. And I was like, "So, nothing hurts. You're sitting down, okay, right?"
Like, little star.
Anyway,
back playing video games, and you know the way to play video games.
Yeah,
have it randomly selected for you, and then actually follow through and play it.
Backlog roulette.
Backlog roulette time.
Super pumped to finally take part in this.
Yeah,
let me actually bring up my listy list.
All right, I'll bring up my phony phone to. Well, it's a real phone. I don't know. It's a piece of crap though. It's almost a phony phone. It barely functions. And all right, we'll see what we got. Good luck to everybody. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully nobody put crappy games on their list. But
some of them I don't know because I haven't played them yet.
Yeah, you never know. They could be absolute trash.
Right?
Hot garbage.
Spin that wheel.
I really hope Pico put Resident Evil 0 on his list.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, by the way, you want to tell everyone what the roulette is?
The roulette is a list from 0, 00, and 1 to 36. where you pick games you haven't played or want to play and just haven't, for some reason, added them yet. And hold on a minute. We got number 17.
17.
But, you let the wheel pick a game for you to play, so you got no excuse to not play that game now. And yeah, it's a ton of fun, and it's actually got me to play a bunch of games I've been meaning to play for years.
Yeah, and I got to play through Assassin's Creed.
You sound so excited,
They're
Pico.
not always winners, but it was one you meant to play.
Right.
So I'm gonna see what I got.
Yeah.
Because aside from my 2 Astro Boy games I'm going to play before the next episode. And Chris is also going to play Syndicate and finish it.
Eventually, when it shows up, yeah.
Yep. To be fair, at least that was out of his control, Jason.
Yeah.
You just didn't play your game.
He just brain farted on that one.
And I have got one I even bought a remaster of, even though I have the original version, and another version of the original version that I haven't played. So now I can finally play it.
All 3 versions.
I got Onimusha.
Nice.
Hey!
That almost made my list.
I've been wanting to play it. I have every Onimusha game.
Mhm.
So do I.
And I'm just like, I'm going to play it one of these days. And then I never do.
Oh my god. Isn't that a quinky dink?
That's going to take me so long. I'm going to be playing a lot of video games because I know I'm going to play Last of Us 2 immediately.
Mhm.
And I got these 2 Astro Boy games that I'm hoping aren't one turns into like a 80-hour RPG or some shit. And then I'm going to play Onimusha, which I assume is at least like a 10-hour game,
Nice.
but probably more.
Mhm.
I was just like, I don't care. It's going on the list. Yeah, because I've got the PS2 version, the original Xbox version, and the PS4 remaster. I'm really banking on that being a good game because if it sucks, I'll be like, wow, I got 3 copies of a game I can't stand.
Mhm.
Even if
eBay.
I don't like the one when I try it, I'll probably try another one and be like, maybe I like the original better.
Nice.
So what did you guys get?
I got Jackie Chan Stuntmaster on the PS1.
Nice.
I picked that up at the Midwest Gaming Classic last year.
Yeah, I remember
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, and I was really looking. That was one of the games I was hoping to find, and I didn't think I actually would because I never see it anywhere.
Mhm.
Isn't
And I found it for a pretty decent price at a dealer, so I picked it up while I
Nice.
could.
Isn't our affliction so funny? Where you're like, I gotta have that game for
Yeah.
some reason.
And I'd never play it.
And it just sits there.
I played it. I did play it briefly to capture footage for it for
Right.
the 15 editions of my MGC pickups that I attempted last year before I just said fuck it and went with a live stream of it.
Isn't that where it all started?
Huh?
Isn't that where it all started with the live stream of your-
Yeah, it was because I was like I filmed it with the camera that I used to film our panel, and it was completely out of frame, and I looked like I was half asleep. So I scrapped it, and then I went and filmed it traditionally, and I hated editing it. I thought I was just, like I wanted to shoot myself in the fucking face.
Well, don't do that on camera.
No.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to stream it, and then I tried streaming it 3 different times, and my computer kept brain farting on that. So I was like,
Man, that was so rough at first.
Yeah.
I remember the first couple of streams were
yeah,
were a
so-
rocky start where you like get 20 minutes in, and all of a sudden you would just go, what? This is what a weird.
And my eyes are half rolled back in my head.
Damn these filmmakers and their weird, quirky ends to things.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, my computer just died. Oh,
But it did give rise to my live stream stuff. So.
It did.
so
But that made you make less videos.
Last year I made just as many edited videos as I did live streams. This is the year that I've
Right. Have you
been
made
putting
one
on.
edited video this year?
I did at the beginning of the year. I released a bunch of top 3 Tuesdays, and after that, I haven't made anything
that's
else.
right.
and he edited a segment to send you for your video.
Yeah, and that
Sort of counts.
I was like sitting there going like, how did I
Yeah.
do that? Like when I do that widescreen shot where
Yep.
like, it pans across, I was like, how did I do that?
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Hopefully, it's like riding a bike when we can get back to it.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
like, okay.
I'm
But
all,
now I can finally get back to it now that I don't have to worry about making that podcast for a while.
Mhm.
the only thing I edit anymore is this. So
Yeah.
it's pretty minimal. The most intense thing
Right.
you got to do is overlay the roulette wheel as it spins and not
Yeah.
have to be right out of time.
You might want to cut out me going like, I think my computer died.
Yeah. Keep that. Keep that.
That stays in.
Damn it. So what'd you get, Kat?
Are you sure we got 17? Are you sure it's not a different number?
It might be 17.
Okay. I got Slave Zero on the Dreamcast.
Ooh, have fun with that one.
Yeah, and so I don't ever play my Dreamcast, but I'm along with trying to beat 100 games this year. I'm trying to beat at least one game on every console / handheld that I own.
That's a cool.
And I don't own many Dreamcast games. And Slave Zero was actually the first one I ever bought. I bought it with my Dreamcast. So
perfect.
yeah, I figure might as well.
It's a giant mech game.
It's right, yeah.
But the thing is, just don't try
a little bit
playing
I played of it.
Just don't play it in multiplayer because it chugs along at 3 frames a second.
Hey,
I had a party for my birthday, and I had friends over. We're gonna have like a multiplayer gaming birthday party for me, and I was like, let's play some games we normally would never play. So I put Slave Zero in, and like we were like, what? What? Put in worms.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's
yeah, hopefully.
I hope someone else plays along and also enjoys their pick.
And the thing is, though, I've got a long time to beat this. You know, I don't have to beat it until the next time I'm on this podcast. So
absolutely.
Shit.
I hope you do it sooner.
Loophole.
Later, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. I love that.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should record a separate little thing where you say that you beat it and you tell us about it. We'll put it in the next episode.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll just wait till the next time I'm a guest.
Look at him. He's blackmailing us for a comeback.
Yeah, why don't we plan that for what? Like,
hey, guess what? We have a third enabler brother now, guys. Every episode.
Yeah, let's do December. December is when I'll beat it. That's when I'll be the next guest in December.
It'll be your 100th game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I look forward to hearing what you think of the game. And
looks like it's only about a 5-hour game, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty short back in the day.
Going with what you were saying about your Dreamcast collection, mine's pretty sad too. I was just talking to Chris about that yesterday.
Yeah, literally just yesterday.
Yeah, I think I got 21 games for it.
Oh, you got me beat.
Sad.
And I was like, I think I have like 21 left to get the whole collection.
I've had it for a long time, so compared to how much I accumulate of other shit, it's pretty sad. And I like the Dreamcast, but it's something I never come across. I was telling Chris, it's something I'm either ordering or picking up at shops or
right.
Yeah, I never see Dreamcast games ever, and when I do, it's always the super expensive stuff.
Yeah,
super expensive or total crap you don't want.
And yeah, the stuff I don't need, but I'm like, all I need are freaking commons. Why aren't those the shit ones I keep finding?
And yeah, a lot of the ones you need are the shitty ones now.
The shitty sports games and shitty racing games that are available on this thing. That's all I need.
Well, when I stumble across any of those, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
because I don't really want to add those unless I'm getting them in a lot. Because I'm like, that's how I am. I won't go out of my way for something, but if I get it in a lot, it stays. Like I'm like the ASPCA games. Like every game's welcome, but some games are exiled. Like because they ran out of room in their room. The first thing I did was like, all right, where's all the disc-based sports games? They're coming out of every set except the 360. All right, let's go on the shelf of shame. But I keep the cartridge ones where they're at for now.
I remember I was expecting to find all that crap at the Midwest Gaming Classic last year, and I found one.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe Billy Mitchell was trying to help you find it.
Was he?
That's why he was digging in the trash.
Oh!
Anyone throwing out some sports games for Pico? Nope. Sorry. And then
I thought I saw one in here. Oh, look, a hot dog.
And then you just got the picture for fucking blackmails. You like blackmail him with this.
Nice.
So sweet. Well, I'm happy that everyone's got something new to play. Hopefully, we all love our games at least a little bit. Hopefully, it's better.
So I hear you need a new RPG to play, though.
Do
I don't.
You don't.
I definitely do.
Dibs out. Okay.
Yeah. So last couple of times we've been talking about our RPG roulette games, and I have been talking about how I'm not really digging Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. I am officially throwing in the towel. You gave it a good go. I can't stand it. Yeah, we're talking about like every 3 episodes or so doing a new RPG to give us ample time. So why don't we spin that wheel? Yo, DJ, spin that wheel.
I'm gonna get that and put it over this while it spins.
You better.
I do have the first Ninja Turtle movie soundtrack somewhere.
Nice.
And here we go. It's really spinning. I shouldn't have spun it so much. Now that I'm probably gonna get copyright strike for using the song, I thought I'd just make it worth it. Might as well get a good 20 seconds out of it. And we got 15. See what we got. Oh, that's my regular backlog roulette. What you got?
I got, was it 15?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hang on. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, God. I clicked on the three wrong lists because I've got way too many lists of game things on my phone.
Number 15. Wow. Okay. I don't even think this is an RPG now that I think about it.
What?
He's cheating. Cheater.
You got to beat him up so you can beat him.
No, actually, I think it is. I got Sakura Wars.
Okay, yeah.
So Long My Love on the PS2.
Sweet. I'm playing I forgot to mention that in what I'm playing, but I started the new PS4 one.
Yeah, I think you were talking about that last episode, too.
Yeah, I did that in the time that I could have beat fucking Astro Boy.
Shit.
It just looks so cool. And it is so far. So I'll resume that in like 2 months when I'm done playing all these awesome games that I got. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to be playing through Ninokuni finally.
Sweet.
I started on the PS3, but you know what? I think I'll go through the remaster.
There you go.
Because then I can continue on to 2.
Yeah.
Which I've also had for a long ass time. Hey, man, I love Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
It's the whole reason I got it. And the reason I didn't get very far on the PS3 version is because my family all loves Ghibli shit. So I was like, oh, man, that's a game I can play in the living room, not get flack for. And then it just never really worked out that way. I think that's right when my PS3 fat died. So that's probably like put nip that in the bud.
PHAT.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, but it died after a short life. So yeah, it was our Blu-ray player for a long time.
Yeah,
so
mine too.
That's when I started buying standalone Blu-ray players because I'd go to work all day, so it would get a break from me.
Mm-hmm.
But meanwhile, I'd be on all day playing Netflix and Blu-rays and DVDs. Because my wife and kids be watching that shit.
Oh, damn kids!
That was my media center.
Yeah,
and then it died. It died while I was unemployed because that's what I was using it for, was just playing movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like the PS2 was my first DVD player.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to the old game?
Yeah.
I need to get that one.
I'm guaranteeing it's going to be better than Kingdom Hearts.
But now.
But not as good as Resident Evil 0.
It probably is better than oral surgery by way of my asshole.
Yeah, try the GameCube version. Maybe you'd like it more.
What? Resident Evil 0?
Yeah.
You like your teeth, right?
No, not particularly.
Now, Pico, is Resident Evil 0 on your backlog roulette? Because it's just
no!
That's what it's the 00 for.
Yeah, basically. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Shit.
I got creative with my 00 game on my backlog roulette. I had to make it a 007 game.
Oh, nice.
God.
One of these days I'll get it.
Yeah.
From Russia with love.
No, it's actually Bloodstone.
Oh, Bloodstone's awesome.
That's why it's on the roulette.
I've actually played through it, guys.
Nice.
I've heard good shit about it. I've got all the 007.
I didn't wait until Captain or Metal Jesus talked about it this past week.
Good thing we got it before then.
Right.
All right.
They've gone up $40.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Everything's gone up $40 right now. If it's
Speaking of which, when we're done, I got to tell you something. Anyway.
well, okay.
And they're going to keep the audience in complete mystery. Suspense. What was he going to talk about?
Lost in the fog.
Turn.
Sweet. Well, I think this has been a good time. Thanks.
It's officially our shortest episode.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I appreciate the invite. It's a lot of fun.
we've been wanting to have someone on for a while, and we were like one of the first people we thought of. So
yeah, appreciate it.
Glad we can make it happen. Sorry about short notice.
No problem. Like I said, I'll be back in December, so I can beat Slave Zero.
Sounds good, man. And why don't you let people know what you do and where to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so Captain Algerbra is my YouTube name. Mostly do pickups and video games monthly unboxings for like edited videos, but then I also stream on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I usually either play a game I want to play or I do a request from viewers. And then Fridays I do at 9 o'clock Central Time. My Genesis A to Z, so I'm going through my entire, well, not the entire Genesis library, but the games I own from A to Z and just playing them through.
Excellent. Those are also fun to play whenever I can catch them. I can't catch the Friday ones, so we're here Friday, but I often catch the Tuesday ones at least for a bit.
Yeah, so, yeah, we like to have a good time. We got Pico catching all the trolls, so
except the other night.
Except the one night. Damn it, Pico.
I need to do more streams for sure, because that one stream I've ever done was an awesome time, and I need to.
Yeah, you need to do that again.
We need to do it yearly. I think it's time for a rematch.
Yep, dude. I didn't get to fight Smash JT, so I want a rematch.
I got to take his. I took him out for you, bro. I got
V1. That's all I want. Give me a 1v1 match.
I got you, Venganza.
You guys have a cage match.
Yep.
We'll set that shit up.
We'll make it happen. We'll make a hardcore match or something.
There we go.
And yeah. What about you, Chris? How do we get you got pages you got to address?
I know, right? I just recently changed my name on YouTube, so now I'm not listed under my real name. I'm listed under the Old Ass Retro Gamer, so you can do a search for that. On Facebook and Instagram, I am the Old Ass Retro Gamer, all one word. And on Twitter, it's OA Retro Gamer.
Hell yeah!
Because Twitter doesn't like ass.
I beg to differ, but. All right, and obviously, if you're here, you know where my channel's at. If not, check out for Corpse Flood Gaming on YouTube. Someone's pirated this and put it somewhere else.
Sons of bitches, abuses.
I think I'm going to start putting it up for audio download on the podcast apps too. Now.
That'd be pretty cool.
We're rating awesome guests now, so we can at least get some audio versions going. Also, we got a Twitter at Corpse Flood Gaming and a Facebook at Corpse Flood Gaming. If you are so bored, check it out, and we'll catch you next time. I hope you take part in our backlog roulette. And I don't know why I said that like William Shatner, but I did.
Please,
if you would like to be a part of
like Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Do the backlog roulette.
Do it now. So yeah, can't wait to play all these games and last episode's games.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget, I'm in the same boat as you right now because couldn't actually finish mine.
Yeah, I couldn't finish mine either because
I'm the only person who played my backlog roulette game.
We're gonna hear about it. We're gonna hear all about it, but we'll give you a deadline. So December. I called it. It's gonna be a hell of a time in December. We'll call it the cold day. We'll call it the cold day in hell, and you finally played the Dreamcast. You finally plugged in the Dreamcast. Well, perfect. Well, I think that about does it for this episode of the Super Enabler Bro Show. I almost forgot what it was called. Next time. And
plus one.
And Enabler Bros Junior. Is that what you said?
Super Enabler Bros Junior.
It's an honorary Enabler Bro.
We're all of the same age group.
See, that's why he's here, because he enables us.
We're not the same age group. Pico's old. Remember, he's the old ass retro gamer.
Come on, bro.
Just his ass is old.
I still say the word meat. I was alive to see Jaws in the theater.
I remember calling people dweebs.
Generation X.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us, Cap, and we will
definitely
catch everyone else on the next episode. Bye.
See ya.
case I don't see you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.